Welcome to Adventures into the Unknown. In today's adventure, we are hiking out in the desert just north of Scottsdale, Arizona, and we are going to be hiking out to a square shape I spotted on Google Earth. So, with that being said, let the adventure begin. Okay, as we approach the summit up here, we have spotted a piece of pottery, albeit a small piece of pottery, but a piece of pottery nonetheless. All right, this might be an evil trick. That might not be where we're going. We might actually be going back here. Not a big deal, but let's see what we get as we push up here. I think we're going to find a structure up here based on the rocks. And I could be wrong. All right, I'm guessing this is not going to be it, but I think more back down here in the saddle area. So all we can do is trek on. Okay, so that hilltop was not the location we were looking for. Neither is the hilltop we're on. Heck of a view from up here. But I believe right back over here is what we're looking for. So we are very close. And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm not 100% certain where we're going, I'm not using GPS. I basically just find them on Google Earth and then get boots on the ground and hike in the direction I think they are. And I think they're right behind us right now. So, let's go. All right, Katana, we didn't see this on Google Earth. This is a small little round structure. Before we actually get to the structure back here that we're headed to. However, this makes total sense, as you would have one heck of a view back off this cliff. And so this might have been kind of a defensive position for them. You can see Katana's being the lookout right now, down over the valley. And in fact, that hill back there has a ruin site on top of it that we have visited. And there's a video of that in my playlist. But yeah, just a small room here of stacked rocks. And then right on the other side of this hill should be the structure we're looking for. All right, I believe we have arrived at our destination. Yep, I can see the stacked rocks of this structure I saw on Google Earth. This appears to be a couple rooms, multiple rooms. We'll get the drone up. I see at least 3 or 4 rooms, but we'll get the drone up and see how many rooms we can see from above. What do you think, Katana? Another amazing ancient ruin site we spotted on Google Earth just by doing a little bit of research on another site. And if you all are interested in how I find these locations using Google Earth, maybe some tips and tricks, I was actually researching a site back on, I believe, this hill, and how I was going to get there when I stumbled across this site. So if you would like some tips and tricks on how I find these locations, drop a comment down below and I'll share my secrets to using Google Earth to find these sites. It's actually very easy. It's not as difficult as some YouTubers might want you to think, that they've got these magic powers to find these sites on Google Earth. There's a lot of hints and tips I can share with you. Let me know in the comments below. So I think what I saw on Google Earth was kind of a square structure with the possibility of a wall running through the middle. And I think this kind of confirms that. But you never know from those satellite images if this wall through the middle is just a shadow or what it is. But I think this is pretty good confirmation of what I was seeing. Definitely have a square room here, little square room here, another room here. I'm not sure if there's one back here or not. Alright, so just off of that main structure, the kind of square structure that I saw on Google Earth, is this little room here that doesn't appear to be connected, but maybe at one point in time it was. Hard to say. There's a pretty good sized piece of pottery. Wow, it's a thick one too. That must have been part of a substantial pot. Look how thick that is. Two more big pieces of pottery. We got a red one, and we got the traditional tannish color. This one, actually, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got black on one side. That one is just normal. Pretty cool. All right, this is a very orange piece of pottery. It's got a little bit of curve to it. That's just outside of this structure here. That is a pretty cool piece right there. All right, another piece of pottery, I believe. Yep. That's just outside of the walls of this structure, which I think they would just throw their broken pottery out of their structures. I've seen that at more and more locations. I think the ancient ones may have started the trend of the can dump, but in this case it was the pottery dump. Alright, so I think that's going to wrap it up for today's adventure into the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, if you could do us a favor and spike that like, it would be greatly appreciated. Also, if you like these type of videos, you might want to shoot that subscribe button so you don't miss out on future videos. And as always, feel free to drop your comments or questions down below. And so with that all being said, until next time, seek and enjoy. See ya.